What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video here on my channel. Today we are jumping into DaVinci Resolve 17, brand new update to DaVinci. Without further ado, we're going to jump into it. But first, we've also just launched merchandise. That is correct. We've launched the first ever drop. CreatorDashboard merch is out. I'm rocking the Photoshop Uzi, a blue Uzi with the Photoshop toolkit on there. Also, we've got the Premiere Pro. Boom, the Premiere Pro Uzi with the Premiere Pro toolkit for all my freelancers. Are you a freelancer or are you a paid lancer? That's correct. This one's so sick as well. CreatorAid. Everybody knows Gatorade, but this is CreatorAid. Link in description. If I've ever provided any value to it all, you've ever learned anything from me, or you just like the look of the designs, link in description. Grab yourself some merch. Without further ado, DaVinci Resolve 17. We're going to be getting into it. So, on screen right now is a little sample project that I've whipped up. Basically, I did a big shoot, little shoot at a big studio called the Blue Studios in London. A lot of big rappers and all type of stuff record here. You know, they got a photography studio as well. Puma, Nike, all these massive brands record here. And we were recording a little music show here the other day. So basically, what I want to do is I just want to play through my tiny little edit. I focused on some transitions, syncing to the beat. More of a simplistic type of edit here, to be honest. But it's just a little demo of a couple features available. We've stabilized some of the shots, etc. Little bit laggy on the playback. Especially right there. Merch live now, link in description. I'm rocking the merch. I'm actually rocking the Premiere shirt there. So I've made it into a little promo video for the merch type of thing, and we're going to be recreating it. But anyways, enough of that. Let's actually start the edit. Let's go up here to File. Let's go to New Timeline, not New Project. We'll go New Timeline. We'll call this Timeline number 2 and press Create. And in our master folder over here, we could see that it just pops up as Timeline number 2. So it's kind of like a new sequence, essentially. And let's go ahead and start off by importing our track. So we'll bring the track down here. And actually, if we hover over here, you see you get this this little button right here, or I mean this little changing cursor. We can drag down the audio so we actually see the waveform. And over here, this particular slider right here is actually how we can zoom in and out. Now, ideally, we probably only want to start with maybe like a few seconds until it hits this drop. We can obviously clearly see this drop. And if we actually go ahead and select our razor tool, our blade edit mode, which also you can press B as a shortcut and it'll jump to it, we could chop down this over here. And then we can go back to our all selection mode tool or press A, which is going to sort of teleport us there. Those are the shortcuts. B and A are like your main primary shortcuts when editing in this program, for me at least. And more or less, I'm going to line that up. So we've got a few seconds until it drops. About 2 seconds until it drops, which means we can create that situation where the camera kind of pans down. So I'm actually going to go ahead and just drag some footage in and start messing around. This program's super intuitive, right? But as you can see right there, we want to go ahead and drag this on the above layer so that the audio doesn't kill our music right here. And then we can actually go ahead and drag that. Actually, in fact, you know what we should probably do? We should actually go ahead and bring this audio layer number 2 probably up one, and bring that down below there. Bring that probably up there. Lovely, easy peasy. And accidentally, it looks like I've killed the track. Let's go ahead and just drag the track onto the one below. And let's actually go ahead and mute the track with the audio built into the clip, because what we want to do is get the track audio clip. Press B again. Go ahead and chop that down. Delete and bring it over. It's going to go ahead and bring it over here. And we can actually go ahead and more or less just scroll through this clip until we can find a nice bit that we necessarily want to start from. Alternatively, you can also take a look at the sort of scrolling through by double clicking, and then you can actually play through the clip right here, sort of in your preview window, which actually usually is a nicer bet. So what I'm going to do is I'm just scrolling along until I can find that part of the clip where basically stuff starts coming down. As you can see, it's probably right around here. And I'm actually just going to go ahead and press I, which is going to add an endpoint. An endpoint means that when we import this back into the timeline, in fact, let's go ahead and simply delete it, and go ahead and delete that as well. I think let's go ahead and delete those bad boys. More or less, in fact, delete everything real quick. And what's gonna happen when we drag this in is it's gonna start at the point that we want it to start at instead of all this nonsense at the beginning. So when we actually press spacebar to play this right now, you can see that it is, boom, starting from the bit that we want it right here. Now, let's leave that on for maybe 5 seconds, something like that. And go ahead and again press B and go ahead and chop that down and delete it. Let's drag our music back in here. And what we can go ahead and do is we can time this up a little bit nicer now, where basically if we press B and just chop it right on the beat over here, we can actually go over here right on the beat, just delete that and drag it over. And let's actually have a look until the camera starts panning down. Or in fact, you know what we can do is we can actually go over here and have the beat drop right as it changes clip, which is I think what we've done before. So let's drag this over now, and what we're gonna have is probably we're gonna want to shorten this a little bit. So probably let's cut a second off of it. Let's cut a second off of this and a second off of the track. Go ahead and just click this blank space here and delete, and that's going to sort of ripple delete, pull everything over. Now let's go ahead and actually just play through this and just sort of see what the timing's looking like. Boom. So what happens is you have a look at me, I'm sort of looking at the computer, and then it pans over to the computer, boom, the beat drops. Let's go ahead and press Control S just to save the project real quick. And now what I want to do is I want to bring in this next clip, this one of me right here a little bit closer up. And if we actually double click it again and load it up, to make it sync with a transition, I want to actually go ahead and start it in here when the movement happens. Look at this movement.
Producers and artists, bro.
You can hear us going crazy in the studio, but look at that movement right there. If I press Shift and press I again, Shift and I, it'll take me back to the endpoint. And if I actually just play that again, what's happened is there's movement down to me. It pans from Rue, the guy hosting the music show right there, one of the producers, and it pans down to me. And we can actually use that movement to bring on a transition. And as you saw in my main edit right here, I've done these sort of built-in flame, fire, burn away transitions, which are built into DaVinci Resolve. I think it's quite a nice transition, to be fair, for a built-in transition. You know, Premiere has a couple cool, like, sort of, VR type of 3D transitions, but I was actually really impressed by this fire burn away transition. It's simplistic, but it's cool. I'm going to actually drag this in, and because we've set the endpoint, it's going to start at the location we want, and we can actually have a look. And I'm actually just going to go ahead and import a transition. But in fact, you know what we should probably do is, you know what? Let's import a transition. I'm going to go up here to Effects Library, and we're going to piece this together bit by bit. Select Video Transitions, scroll all the way to the bottom, and we can get the burn away transition. And as you can see, we can scroll through it, and it'll show us what that's going to look like, right? Now we're going to drag that over here to the start of this new clip, and I'm actually just going to go ahead and click it so that it actually opens up here. And what I want to do is I want to scroll into it a little bit, right, so that we can see it taking effect, and change the angle so that the angle is actually bringing the clip down. We want the transition in the same direction as that movement in the clip. So let's have a look if we have to slice it around a little bit, but let's play it and see a rough idea of what it's looking like. We'll play it from the beginning. Perfect. So that's looking cool. The second the camera sort of pans down here, boom, it slides over. Have one more look and we'll keep going. Lovely. That's looking really nice. So now what we can do is we can go to the next beat drop, which we want to come in and change the clip. Boom. So it's right about there. We can press B again, chop that, and we'll actually just go ahead and delete that right there. And let's again press Control S. I want to get you guys in the habit. If you're new to editing, I know a lot of guys who are jumping on DaVinci are relatively newer to editing. Basically, you're going to want to be saving your project every 10 seconds. My veteran editors know this, obviously. This is the name of the game, basically. And now I'm pretty much just going to drag and drop another clip into the program, and this is actually me and Ryaz, basically just having a look at what's going down. We're both filming, and I just want to find a part of the clip with maybe a little bit more movement, by the way. And as you can see, I'm rocking the Premiere Uzi right there, the Premiere Uzi. By all means, guys, if you want the DaVinci Uzi, let me know in the description. We'll get it going for you 100%. Let me know in the comment section, rather. The link for CreatorDashboard.shop is in the description. Anyways, on with the edit. So I think probably that's a bit of movement right here. Like what I'm looking for to make the clip interesting is movement. So I'm going to chop it right here. I'm going to delete it, and I'm actually just going to click this blank area and let it go a little gray and press delete again, which is going to pull it all the way over. So let's have a look. I think, let's have a look. I'm just trying to find the right, boom. I'm going to go ahead and chop it right there. So I think that's looking all right. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. You see how it starts going back a little bit. The movement changes a little bit. It's only subtle, but I just want to go ahead and chop that down. Delete the last little bit, just so it's one continuous kind of movement of going down. As you can see right there, that's pretty much looking nice. That's looking good. That's looking good. I'm starting to be pretty happy with that. Now what I think we should do is literally just keep looking for some more clips, basically. So I'm having a look over here, and it's looking like we've got a nice one over here of me in the corner shooting as well. So we can, again, probably double-click that, scroll through, and let's just try look for, again, another movement.
We're not selling slides. No. You're just something that you can have.
So we're obviously laughing in the studio, doing our thing. Okay, cool. So I think what we're going to do is maybe start it here. So let's press I to bring it in.
Good, love it.
And what I can do right there is I can use that movement of him walking past to again transition onto something else. So let's drag this over here, right here. So I think I'm going to chop this down a little bit even more. Go ahead and chop that down right there. Boom, and we can actually boom transition into the next clip right here when the subject gets taken off screen, basically because someone sort of stepped in the way, more or less. So someone was stepping in the way, basically. And I think what I'm going to go ahead and do now is I'm going to bring on this clip over here, which is in a different room. We were recording some other stuff, but I'm going to double click it. And again, this has movement, as you can see right there. So there's actual legitimate movement in this right now. So I know it's sounding crazy right now. But what I can do is I can go and find that movement. And we want to press I, bring it in on this movement, and do the exact same thing where we sort of use that movement. Excuse. And in fact, these might even pair up pretty cool. Let's play them just authentically and just see what they look like alone. Perfect. Now I'm going to go ahead and press B again, chop that out, and I think we are ready to bring in our text at the end. And then we could spice this stuff up, maybe do a little color grade, etc. A light one, mess around with some stuff, but I'm actually going to go over here and press titles, right? Titles, they have a whole bunch of different pre-made stuff. Now, I like this one. It's pretty cool. The text ripple is relatively cool as well, but it's a little bit cheesy, to be honest. The one I want to mess around with is going to be the sort of the glitch, right? The superhero movies, again, look a little bit cheesy. You know, you can customize all these pretty nicely, though. I think that's like a nice thing. The rise fade, not too shabby, not too shabby. Again, feel free to use any of these, but I think the digital glitch one is probably the one that I'm personally liking the most. Now, there's a few different ones. For me, I probably want the one in the middle, right? This one right here. As you can see, if we actually, we can actually go ahead and throw this one at the end. So it's going to sort of glitch on, which I like. I think it's pretty cool. And we actually drag and drop that right here at the end, and we can actually go ahead and customize it. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to use this again as a chance to promote the merch, guys. Promote the merch. Check the merch out. If we click through, it slowly builds this text, and it says sample text. Link in description, and I'm actually going to go ahead and get the small text and say the merch is out now. Link in description. What are you guys waiting for? We've got the Photoshop Uzi, we've got the Premiere Pro Uzi, we've got the paid Lancer if you guys are freelancing, and we got a whole bunch of other cool designs. CreatorAid, a Gatorade bottle with the word CreatorAid on it. Basically, link in description. Go check it out. But anyways, enough of that. Let's go ahead and play this and see where we want to remove the text, and then let's go spice it up together, I think. All right, 2 seconds. Let's play. Let's have a look. So expect this to be a little bit laggy. It'll be a little bit laggy on yours as well. In the final version, it'll look completely normal. If you guys ever get a little bit of lag, understand it's just playback lag. It's something called playback lag. The computer, it has a heart attack. It doesn't know what's happening. It's too much graphical power, and it just collapses until you've rendered it, basically. But we're going to sort of zoom in here, I think, and have a look at where to chop it. Boom. Chop that right there. Delete it. And what we can actually go ahead and do is have a look at this piece all together. See what it's looking like. See if we want to add some more transitions, etc. Let's take a look. Oh, play. Lovely. Oh, so there's a couple bits that aren't on beat. If we scroll in, boom. So we probably want to bring that almost over here. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Boom. We chop that out. Lovely, 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 lovely. Absolutely loving that. Looking great. Looking 10 out of 10. So honestly, what I'm doing right now is I'm literally just having a look at a few different kind of effects. You've got some different fusion effects, which are pretty cool. They've got some kind of borders. In fact, they've even got some various different overlays and stuff. And it's looking like right now, some of them are reserved for DaVinci Resolve Studio. So you guys know DaVinci Resolve 16 is completely free. But DaVinci Resolve Studio is a more advanced version, basically. But you've got a couple cool things that are in here for free, like a DSLR kind of overlay type of situation, right? Couple cool things, video conference kind of overlay, which that alone is kind of cool for maybe different projects you're working on, whatever the case may be. And overall, there is a few different things, the video camera overlay, which is cool that they give you all this stuff right in here within DaVinci Resolve 17. However, for this particular project, this stuff is more or less irrelevant to me. What I want to do is I want to jump over to color. Color is going to be a little bit fun. What I want to do is I want to actually mess around with a couple things. Now with the curve, I want to do a slight S-curve, very slight, just to add a little bit of contrast and brightness to it, just because it looks a little bit flat right now. Don't overdo it. There's a tendency to want to overdo, and you're going to blow stuff up. I'm going to press Control-Z to undo that. To do a slight S-curve, I'm literally just going to drag this up slightly over here, and then come down here and drag this down slightly right here, just so it makes a little bit of an S-curve. If we undo that, you see that it sort of gets a little bit flatter. But with the color grade, definitely try not to overdo this type of stuff. But if we skip through, I can see that the slight S-curve, a slight S-curve. But I'm just going to undo that for the time being. Drag it up a little bit. Drag that down a tiny little bit. And let's have a look if this looks nice. So if we undo it, it's looking a little bit flatter there. Now this camera is not the greatest color settings. Okay, lovely. So I am probably going to go with the strategy of just the slightest little S-curve. Now it's called the S-curve because you usually create an S, but obviously that's looking way too nuts, basically. So I just go for a slight one. I drag that up a little bit and drag that down a little bit. And what that does is just increases a little bit of brightness and contrast and just adds a little bit of something. Kind of removes the straight super flatness of the image. But if we drag that up a little bit, drag this down a tiny little bit. Again, do not overdo it because you're going to be blowing out your stuff and basically just ruining it more or less. But a tiny little S-curve is cool. DaVinci is something that is phenomenal for color grade, right? This right here is a little bit of a super basic level color grade. But as you can see right here, it takes a relatively flat image and just adds a little bit of something to it, basically. And more or less, we can get a little bit more in depth later on with some color grade in future tutorials, and I can do something specifically about it. But for the time being, if we undo it, we can see the change in brightness and contrast when we actually bring this together. Go ahead and press Control-S to save this. Done a basic level edit, basic level color, sort of color correct, if you will, to this right now. I think more of a color correct than a color grade. But overall, we're closing in on the end of the tutorial, how to edit basic videos in DaVinci Resolve 17. I'm literally just going to have a look through a couple different things, see if we can find anything that to me would actually add some value to our project, basically. But overall, you've got a few different things like this, some various different overlay type of situations, right? Textured background, something like this could maybe be cool for the text. Let's have a look. So that's kind of looking cool. Let's see how much customizability we have over this. So we have the textured background, the gradient. Obviously, we can change, the color of the gradient, etc. Oof, I accidentally deleted that. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to bring it over to more of like a yellowish, if you will. Let's have a look at what that's looking like. Or in fact, what's the final colors to end here? The final colors are kind of like some purples, right? So just to stay in line with sort of the last colors they would have seen. Let's mess around with adding a little bit of pink right here. Maybe bring that down a bit, make it a little bit more purple. And the alpha, there's nothing behind, so we don't have to do that. But overall, I think that's looking relatively cool. We could go to controls, see if there's any. Ooh, let's mess with that. I was gonna see if there's any opacity, but we'll probably just leave that for the time being. And what we can go ahead and do is actually just boom, delete that right there. And that right there is done and dusted. Now, in fact, this definitely has the color to it. Yeah. I think we just want to increase it a little bit, increase the blacks a little bit. There we go. The blacks are ideally what we want to increase, just to get rid of that grain. Try to. A little bit more of it at least. As we can see here, in fact, I'm probably going to want to jump back over to color again here. Just bring it down again a slight bit. And let's go back over to edit. We can play this through from the start and we could see what we've created together. Love the fire. Right here, what I think I want to do is I want to get another fire. Let's have a look. So if we go over here to video transitions, come back over. It's looking like a little something could be done about this. But what I want to do is I want to actually again zoom in and make it in the direction of the movement. So if we come here and we actually play a little bit, we want to change that angle to be coming. Let's have a look. Effect burn away. Let's bring it over here and have it sort of coming on. So let's have a look. And honestly, we probably want it right about there where the guy walks on screen. So he hasn't walked fully on screen. These are all sort of little like nitpick, cherry pick type of situations. But overall, like the positioning of your transition adds a lot to it. So let's have a look. Like if you can make the transition sync up with the movement, that's definitely a nice look. So let's actually go ahead and play this from the beginning. We've got our couple transitions in here. We've got our digital glitch in there. We've got our background color. Let's have a look. Lovely. Let's have a look. Lovely. Merch is out now. Link in description, people. And I think what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm just going to extend that for a little bit longer so it's a little bit more readable at the end. And also, I think I want to, again, I want to go ahead and just shorten this down again a tiny bit. Shorten this down a bit. Based on the simple fact that if I zoom in, I want the guy walking across the screen to look like he's walked on the clip right here instead of looking like he's sort of walking and the transition happens after. So I'll play this again and I'll bring the burn over to here. In fact, we can have a look at what it looks like overlaid, right? So let's have a look. Boom. Let's get this bad boy. And let's change the direction. Easy. Let's have a look. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Now that's looking good. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. This is looking great. Hell to the yes. So let's actually go ahead and play this bad boy for a second. Play it. Keep playing it. And we can actually go ahead and cut this one out right here. And what I want to go ahead and do is I just want to do a slight keyframe animation of the audio out. If we actually click this and we actually tap the little keyframe button right here by the volume, we can actually come to the end and maybe put this on minus 20, something like that, just so we get a slow fade out of the audio. And it slowly fades out, basically. Then we press O to add the out point to basically seal off this bad boy right here, and we can actually go ahead and tap the space bar and play through what we've created together. Oh, again, don't mind about the playback lag, just restart it and play again. Lovely. Boom, merch is out now. Link in description, people. Oh, Photoshop Uzi on me. We've got the DaVinci Resolve Uzi coming soon. If I see a couple comments, we're making it today, 100%. And overall, that right there is us sorted with the edit. Now, final thing, what I want to do is show you guys how to render. Go to Deliver. Very, very simple. We simply select where we want it to export to. We're going to call this Blue Studio Sample Edit V2. And go ahead and save that. And what we can actually go ahead and do is just simply bounce it to the render queue. However, what I want to go ahead and do here is export it at H.264 master. H.264 master is the one that I want to do. File name, again, Blue Studios sample, easy. And we'd simply go down here and press add to render queue. That's going to pop up right over here. And we simply press render 1. Or in fact, you know what, let's delete whatever that one was. Timeline number 2, render all. And it's actually simply going to start going through and piece together our edit right here. And basically, we can go ahead and watch this thing through together and see what we've created from scratch with DaVinci Resolve 17. Using some titles, using some texture backgrounds, piecing together clips, syncing to the beat. Overall, messing a tiny bit with the grade. Again, I don't really color grade it. I just color corrected. What I wanted to do is pretty much just get rid of the flatness. And more or less, we're dealing with a decent little sample edit on our hands right here, which we can actually, if you follow through perfectly, basically, you've learned the basics of DaVinci Resolve. This is the absolute basics. But let's go ahead and load this one up right here, and we'll actually go ahead and navigate to the folder. In fact, I've got to try and remember where I even put it. The Blue Studios, there it is. Blue Studio sample. Let's go ahead and let's go ahead and load this bad boy up. Bring it over here so you can properly see it. Go ahead and press play, and let's have a look. Lovely. Easy. Woo! That fire's too good. Boom! Merch is out now, link in description. Let's do it. And it slowly fades out. People, we just created this edit together. Oh, it's playing some crazy other footage right there. But basically, guys, it's playing it again. My bad. In fact, let me show you the crazy chef. This guy. This crazy fucking chef right here from Naples, bro. I'm not gonna lie, this is the craziest chef I ever met in my life. But overall, we have done it together. We've pieced together a nice little edit. We've synced stuff to the beat. We've added some cool transitions in there, some cool, titles, etc. And we've put something nice together. You and me did that. We pieced it together. By all means, if you feel as though you didn't grab anything, let me know. I'll make more DaVinci Resolve 17 tutorials, or simply replay this one. Have a look if there's any parts that didn't fully connect for you. I think transition-wise, it's looking lovely. Merch is out now. Link in description. We pieced together a cool little edit together. It wasn't anything super special, but it definitely wasn't anything too unspecial either. At the end of the day, we're all special. You, me, and the edit. Bless up to everybody. But anyways, guys, that right there is the video done and dusted. I'm going to be making plenty more DaVinci Resolve 17 videos. But if you enjoyed and want to support the channel, we got merchandise out right now. The Premiere Pro Uzi over here. Obviously, for you guys, if you're using DaVinci, you probably want to rep the DaVinci Uzi. Tell me if you want it. I'll literally add it to the site today. If you guys are a freelancer, obviously we got paid Lancer. I'll show you the CreatorDashboard one as well. This is the Photoshop Uzi. This one's so sick as well. CreatorDashboard. Everybody knows Gatorade, but this is CreatorDashboard. This one is probably the most important one to buy because Gatorade, the second they see that we're selling this, they're gonna send us a cease and desist, 100%. Which means that you've got a very limited time to buy the CreatorDashboard, hoodies and t-shirts before they sue us. I will go to court. I will fight this battle for you guys so that you guys can wear the Creator merch. Obviously not. Gatorade, if you're watching, please don't sue us. Please just send us a cease and desist, and we'll take it down. But, guys, buy it before they send the cease and desist. I got a feeling that it's coming any day now. Anyways, boom, merch over here. Thank you guys for tuning in. If there's anything I missed from this tutorial that you want to see covered, you're like, bro, how the hell did you not get into this? Tell me in the comments, and I'll do it. We'll get more DaVinci Resolve 17 videos. DaVinci's been a huge, huge topic for my channel. I want to document DaVinci Resolve 17 thoroughly, and I intend to. Thank you guys for watching. Have a nice day. Peace out, and I want to see some merch orders coming in from you specifically. I can see you. I can see that you're hesitating. Click the link. Buy the merch. Love you guys. Peace.